giant swords, crude weapons from the dark ages of history.
Unlike lighter and more sophisticated swords from a modern and civilized era.
Except
That's wrong.
real giant swords like this Montante are actually from the Renaissance.
And later. This is a side sword. This comes from the late medieval period, and it actually is an earlier period sword than this giant Montante.
Even giant swords that didn't have rings and parrying lugs were still a later invention.
This has to do with the quality of the steel and the technology available. Giant swords are harder to make. There's more steel.
It takes more technical know-how to make steel pure enough to understand the rigors of being a giant sword.
If you look at ancient swords like the Khopesh, they're very small.
That's because this would have been made out of bronze, and anything much bigger than this just wouldn't have worked.
Even when it comes to the same weapons, the longer weapon tends to be a later period weapon.
This is an earlier period swept hilt rapier.
And this is a later period cup hilt rapier. You can see the later period weapon is a lot longer. So the longer the sword was,
The more metallurgically advanced the society would have had to have been.
and therefore it would actually be more modern.